Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? I thoroughly enjoy doing these sit-down videos with you guys and kind of giving you guys some free game. They don't get a crazy amount of views, but it seems like for the people who do watch it, they benefit a lot from it. So I'm very glad I'm able to give you guys some sauce. This is going to be another one of these videos that I'm going to do. It's literally a whiteboard, a bunch of thoughts that I've written down on a whiteboard. I'm just gonna kind of go through it. Today's topic is going to be dropshipping is dying, but this is what you don't know, right? A lot of people online talk about how dropshipping is always dying, how like dropshipping's dead, this and that. And I'm kind of here to number one, address what people mean when they say that. Number two is to give you actual applicable advice on what you can go out and do to make sure that you in the dropshipping space, and including me in the dropshipping space as well, don't actually get the short end of the stick here and die, right? Because dropshipping is dying. And I think a lot of these people who say dropshipping is dying online have some sort of validity to it. I'd say most of the time it's just a marketing technique to say that dropshipping is dying. But in the raw reality, it is. Old methods are always dying and new methods are always coming in. And that's what I wanted to kind of focus on and go over in this video and kind of amplify. In this video, I'm going to be going over the most common mistakes I see beginners / intermediates like you making in the e-com space, preventing you from profitability, right? And let you know how people who are actually making real money with e-com are doing it. This is kind of been the main topic of the video. Is like, how can you go from your current situation? And I like to kind of think of it as you are in now the pool of people who are, practicing the same methods in dropshipping that are dying. And how do you kind of translate yourself into the pool of people who are actually making real money with dropshipping? AKA, you would probably say they're not following dying methods. All this info I'm going to be giving for free in this video will be knowledge I've gained in the past 3 years of being in the e-com space. My name is Ben. I've been in the e-com space for around 3 years now. I've been posting about my journey online ever since I started. I started e-com a long time ago. This was kind of around when I wanted to, this was around when I was kind of being told very sternly that I have to go to college. But I started to take on dropshipping and I saw a minor bit of success. The reason why this is relevant to this video is because everyone who starts in the e-com space will find their first little bit of success. And mine was around my first store. I sold my product into the UK, and that store ended up quickly dying and crashing to the ground after I actually ended up making my first around $100,000 of profit online. And while you may be watching that video thinking that that's the dream number and thinking that that is all you need in life to be happy, you will then get that number in your bank account and be like, wow, I'm not making any more money. I have 100 grand in here. I'm 17 years old and I have nothing left. It's just like I have no more cash flow. It just ends right there. And so if you're an actual real entrepreneur, you're gonna be sitting there being like, what do I have to do next? Kind of after that, I decided to lock back in. A lot of people know me now for my case studies. I have a lot of case studies on this very YouTube channel. I like to post a lot, and I've kind of been documenting my journey since day one. And then I kind of lock back in. I start to home in a lot more of my knowledge with dropshipping. I started investing a lot more in my info. I started actually learning a lot more strats that, I'm not going to lie, this was kind of luck. This was not. We ended up scaling up the store to around $1.5 million in total sales and making an absolute boatload of money on that. Now, all great things must come to an end because once again, dropshipping is always adapting, it is always dying. That's kind of the main premise of this video. This store right here, even though it did $1.6 million in revenue, I still, even though I knew what I was doing slightly, I still did not have the system set up correctly to where the business could actually last. And so because dropshipping is always adapting and my store was over here, we eventually got pushed out and the train continued to move on without us. Now, present day, I'm scaling up a store. I posted a video actually on it, and I highly recommend you guys go watch it. It's on this video. I bought a failing business and scaled it to X amount of dollars a day. That was actually the story of me buying this business. And now, present day, from the 1st to 20th, it's done $14,000 of profit. Next month, it'll do significantly more. This month, it'll probably end off around $22,000 in total profit for the month. And that's kind of what a current store that I have as of right now is running. And this right here is a long-term play for me. While you may see numbers like the $1.6 million in revenue, this store will eventually hit that. But this right here is a long-term play for me. I bought this store, I acquired it around 3-4 months ago, and we've been kind of scaling it ever since. We took it from losing around $300 to $400 of profit a day to now making consistently today around $1,000 of profit every single day. So we've obviously been doing a lot of work on this store, and every single thing that I'm about to go over in this video on the new method of drop shipping, or I guess the old methods that people are doing that don't work anymore, we're pretty much implementing all of those things that I'm saying into this new store that I'm doing. So everything that I'm preaching, I'm practicing. Everything that I'm practicing, I'm preaching. So far today, you can see on the store that I'm just showed you guys above on that photo. So far, the time is like 9 p.m. I believe. We've done 1.2K profit on the day, $1,270. It's 9 p.m., so we'll probably end the day off at maybe 1.5K in total profit. Yesterday was $954 in profit. That's after like refunds and stuff, triple updates. Yesterday it's like $1,000. Now it says 950. Day before that, $1,000 in profit. So you can see the store is doing that consistently, $1,000 profit a day. This week should be really high. Anyway, the reason why this is relevant is, once again, whatever I'm doing, I'm preaching, and whatever I'm practicing, I'm preaching. And this is super important because this is kind of my way to show you guys, hey, look, the methods that we do in dropshipping now actually work. So anyway, let's get into the main part of the video. Why is dropshipping dying, and how, and what do I even mean by this, right? I think we've all seen the free courses, the videos, and case studies online that are bland, seem too good to be true, or show methods that you could have sworn you saw 2 years ago. Like, let's be so for real. We've all seen these free courses online of when someone just picks a product, they order it to their house, they start making ads for it, and they post it on TikTok ads, and they wake up the next day with a 5 ROAS. Like, trust me, I've been there, done that, I bought into that dream. It's false, it doesn't work, it's all just a scam. And I think 90% of people who are in the e-com space kind of go through this area as well, where they see these videos and like, oh, this is so easy. Then they kind of do it and they're like, oh my God, this is not easy. I like to make sure that my videos at least have some sort of truth to them, and I kind of tell you guys like, yo, this isn't easy, but it's possible. But dropshipping is a subcategory as e-com, and e-com pretty much adapts every 3 months, whether it be a major shift in product research, ad ideation, just overall strats and overall methods as to how people are doing things, right? So for example, if we go back to 3, 4, 5 years ago, when everyone was taking clothing products from Alibaba, posting on their Shopify stores, or when people, maybe a year later, were taking products of Alibaba, ordered to their house, and then filming content and posting on TikTok ads for 5 ROAS, things are always adapting. If you were to do that now in present day, we all know that would not work anymore, right? So whether you like it or not, you're always going to have to adapt. Which you could argue means dropshipping is always changing and the old methods are dying. And this is my way of telling you, dropshipping is dying. These old methods that you see online, we've already all dictated that this stuff doesn't work, and that stuff is dying. I think a lot of people are starting to figure out, like, e-com as a game adapts as time goes on. And so the whole I'm gonna learn what worked 2 years ago and it's gonna work now, that doesn't apply, and that's why dropshipping is dying. Now, a lot of people might say, oh, dropshipping is dying because you can't profitably scale a product anymore. It's like, so false, right? Those people are typically the people shilling you another business model. But all in all, the old methods of dropshipping are changing and the new ones are coming in. And a lot of people look at this as a bad thing. This is actually really good. This just means e-com is continuing to adapt, and when markets adapt, they grow. So e-com is always growing. It's like, if you're in an industry and it doesn't change and it doesn't adapt or it doesn't move forward, then why would you want to hop into that space, right? It's like, it's not worth it. It shows that it's not growing. So e-com is always growing. That's another word that you could use. So how is dropshipping dying, right? I'd say a lot of people are still using TikTok ads and trying to use TikTok ads. TikTok ads is no more. I personally don't focus on it at all anymore. Acquisition costs are becoming more and more expensive. That's another way that dropshipping is dying. A lot of people are trying to advertise their products profitably and get, crazy 5, 6 ROASs, and that's just not how it is anymore. More competition is happening in the space, aka while acquisition costs are going up. This means doing different things and staying ahead of the curve is crucial in e-com. It's always been crucial, but now it's crucial more than ever before. The little things add up. So operating your business with a different game plan than everyone else is going to get you the leg up. A lot of people believe, and the reason why I said this, a lot of people believe in order for them to be profitable in e-com, or I guess actually make money, you need to have like this one key thing that you just do on your business and it just blows it up. But in the grand scheme of things, e-com, all it is just all these subcategories, right? Product, offer, ads, website, marketing, all added up in small subsections to just make your store and your ads look super congruent, and so people can just buy. All this stuff adds up. And so I'm going to go over exactly how you can get the leg up on your competitors in just a second. But if you want to get results like 99% of people, follow the advice and input of 99% of people. The reason this video probably doesn't have a huge amount of views is people are typically not looking for this info. So if you're watching this video right now, I just want to say you're in the right place, right? Not many people are looking for videos like this. So now let's actually get into it. What can you do, right? What do you do to get a leg up on other people in the e-com space that you probably aren't doing right now? There's a couple of things. Number one, I want to teach you about my dropshipping pillars, right? Dropshipping can simply just be categorized into 5 different things. You have a product, you have an offer, you have an ad, you have a store, and you have a marketing platform. Once you kind of break dropshipping down into this headspace, you realize it's a lot less scary than you think. And you can kind of focus on every single one of these pillars. Thinking in depth into all these pillars of dropshipping is crucial to be able to do things better. Let's go into the first one. Now, quick disclaimer, before we kind of go into what you can do better, a lot of this is going to be me ranting. A lot of this is going to be rhetorical questions that I ask myself. A lot of this is going to be mindset, not as in like, oh, I'm going to make it, but as in like questions that I ask myself when I'm doing this in my actual store. I'm not going to be pulling out my whiteboard and open up Calculator for you guys because I have videos for that. Even like making ads, I'm not going to pull up my whiteboard and start making ads for you guys because at the end of the day, I can show you guys I can give you guys a product to run. I can make you guys an ad live on a video, but in the grand scheme of things, you can copy that word for word. You can copy that format word for word, but that does not translate cross niche. That does not translate cross product. You have to do your own research. And that's why I'd rather teach you guys the fundamentals so you guys can learn off of that than saying, hey guys, everyone just copy my ad format, right? Because that's not as helpful in my opinion. Anyway, let's go to the first thing, product. First question I asked myself was, what niche am I choosing from, right? A lot of people want to sell in niches that just make no sense. I would say sell in the niches that are the most competitive, right? You want to sell in health, you want to sell in beauty, stuff that people want to come back and buy from. And that's the second question I asked myself. Am I selling a product that has a returning customer and high LTV potential? This means lifetime value potential. I want people to come back to my store and buy. That's like one of the main ways that you're going to mitigate high advertising costs now in 2025 and basically being unprofitable on the front end some days is having customers come back and buy again. Basically acquiring a customer now without the cost of advertising. So that's really high profit margins. And that only comes in certain niches, right? Beauty niche, supplement niche, just health niche as a whole. These are all niches which people have to come back and buy from you again because they used your product, right? Another question I ask myself is how many competitors are running this product? Everyone's always heard this question before is how many competitors do you have? I want a competitor or two because if I don't see any competitors, I'm just like, oh, like that's not really that good. That just probably means you're looking in the wrong places too. Because if you're looking in the right places, you're always gonna have competitors for every single product. I'm obviously not looking for pages of competitors, but I'm looking for like 2 or 3 comps. Like that's kind of what I'm looking for. And that's a good sign to me because at the end of the day, a lot of people get scared when they see that. I promise you it's not that deep. Like those people are probably advertising. One of them is probably doing shit. The other 2 are probably scaling. One of them is probably scaling has no idea what they're doing. The other one probably knows exactly what they're doing and they're scaling. And even then, if they were to scale super high, there's still so much in the market that you can still acquire. You can just hop in and just gain customers. And that's kind of like, that's the majority of the e-com space. A lot of people just don't know what they're doing. A lot of people just hop in. They think they can make money with this and just kind of like skedaddle on. But you have to dig deeper. You have to know strats that people don't. This is the whole point of ecom. This is like to have a leg up on people, you have to have a leg up. You have to know what you're doing over other people. And this typically comes from info that isn't widely available. YouTube videos like this that don't have a ton of views. Private communities. These are all stuff that are very, very important, right? How recent has the product appeared on the map? A lot of people are choosing products that are like years old. When I do my product research on Calidata or Spy Tools, I'm looking for products that have been posted in the past 30 to 60 days. I'm not looking for products that have been around for years. When searching for my product, what is the revenue range that I'm looking at? I want to look at products that have validation, right? So I'm not looking in the thousands. I'm looking at tens to hundreds of thousands. So I'm looking anywhere from my Calidata revenue range. And I actually have a full product research video on this very YouTube channel, so I recommend watching this if you need help on product research. But I'm looking at revenue ranges 30,000 to 100,000. I'm widening my scale because I understand that products come in all different shapes and sizes, right? When I see beginners start doing their filters like 80,000 to 90,000, it's not that deep. Like a product that has $30,000 a month in revenue could have the same scalability as a product that's doing $100,000 a month in revenue. It's just like you have to look at the product itself and its properties. Is the revenue on an uptrend or downtrend? A lot of people just choose products that's on a downtrend, and like if you think logically, that just makes no sense. You want to choose a product that's going up, not down, because that means your store is going to go up, not down. What tools are you using? Just Calidata? I see a lot of beginners not have any sort of like game sense, I guess we could say, in knowing like how to navigate the whole like spy tool space. You should not be paying full price for spy tools. Like for example, Calidata, I think it's like $79 a month. PP ads, I think they rose their price like $69 a month. But even then, tools like Canva, Brain.fm, Shop Hunter, Ad Spy, Cutout.pro, AI tools like that, ChatGPT, Perplexity.ai, like this is all stuff that adds up. And if you were to all buy on your own, it's going to add up to like $500, $600 a month. And I think anyone watching this video with like a couple brain cells would be like, that's dumb. I need those tools. They would make my life a lot easier and help me streamline my business, but I don't have the means to pay for all those tools. So you should not be paying full price for spy tools. You should be using Spy Crew. I'll leave a link for Spy Crew down below. It's $34 a month. I recommend getting their Pro though for $49 a month. It gives you access to what you can see in this photo: Creative OS, Calidata, Play.ht. They have their own custom browser too. So they have their entire own custom app built out. So it's a really good, just easy process and easy experience to use their app. This is a photo. So in their actual thing, there's like 50 different tools. You can scroll up and down. There's more tools than this. But check them out. I'll leave a link for them down below in the description. Use Calidata. In my opinion, use PP ads. Use Ad Spy. Use Shop Plus is also a good Calidata alternative. But later on, I'll also kind of give you guys reasons why you should be using AI as well in your business, because it makes it so much easier. But for product research solely, you should have multiple different tools that you use. Spy Crew makes sure that they have all those tools in there. So that's another really big question that I ask myself is like, what tools am I using? Am I keeping myself limited to one tool, or am I using multiple? Second thing is your offer, right? This is the second pillar of dropshipping, is you should never compete on price, because it actually matters a lot less than you think. A lot of people will hop into the e-com space and be like, oh, I'm gonna have the cheapest price, and therefore everyone's going to buy from me now. It's like, it matters a lot less than you think. Like the person next to your competitor selling your product for $49.99 and you trying to price it at like $29.99, like people literally don't care. I promise you could also price it at $49.99 and get like the same amount of sales. But the big question is like, how do you get to $59.99? How do you get to $69.99 without affecting your conversion rate too much and being able to still outbid your customers? Because like I said, acquisition costs are rising. Why would you want to lower your profit margin? It should be your goal to raise your profit margin. Since acquisition costs are rising, you need to have more profit margin to make up for that higher acquisition cost. You don't want to just continue to dig a hole down here. Makes no sense. So that's another thing, is raise your price. Competitors don't even remember the price of your comp stuff, right? Like you can't even probably remember the exact price of the last thing that you bought or looked at online, especially. Offers come in three different things. Number one, a percentage off. Your website should say a constant 30, 50, or 80% off of a certain ticket price, so a compare out price. That's like the first discount you should always have on your website. In the door offer is like, what are you going to be saying in your ads? What are you going to be telling people like, hey, this ends today, buy, 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 buy. Typically it's a buy one, get one free. That it works flawlessly. And then a buy more, save more. How are you getting people to buy more? This right here is a good example of an offer. I'll break it down in just a second. But you want to state your offer in the CTA of your ads, right? And on your website, and that's it. That's how simple an offer is. An offer is just there to get people to buy and buy now. Make sure you aren't too priced too high. That's another common thing that I see is some people, on the contrary, instead of pricing you too low, you'll just be like, oh, my competitor, once again, selling for $44.99, I'm going to price it at $69.99. And the next thing is their ads. They'll just rip their ads. Like they have no validity to be selling their product at that price. And you could ask them, like, hey, why are you selling it for that price? Oh, I just thought I'd do it. It's like, no. If you're going to sell your product for higher, you need to have a reason why. Like, is your branding better? Are your ads just like significantly better? Are you just spending more so you have higher market share? And typically the answer is no to all that when people typically run into your price too high issue. Figure out your sourcing costs, mark your product up around $25, and then just charge $5 of that on the shipping so you can, it look like you're charging $5 less on the upfront. This is a really good offer stack that's just been working. I recommend you use this if you haven't been using this. It's a buy one. Let's say we're selling our product for $34.99. We do a buy one get one free for $34.99, and then we'll do a buy two get one free for typically like $34.99. We'll do it for like $44.99, and then we'll do a buy three get two for $59.99. So that's a really good offer stack to do. It's a really enticing price and a really good in the door offer with the buy one get one free, obviously, but we're enticing people to buy more because our price of the buy two get one and the buy three get two is really good. So offer is super simple, and this is kind of the mindset you need to be in. Is like, how do I start? I hope this starting to make sense. Like the little stuff in the business starts to add up. You have a good offer combined with a good product. Now you're cooking. But like a lot of people have bad product. Maybe you know how to create good offers, but like that doesn't matter. The little stuff adds up. Next is ads. Typically, you're going to be break even or unprofitable. And newsflash, so are 80% of people. A lot of people are going to, you're going to follow this advice. You're going to post your ads and be like, oh, I'm break even and I'm profitable. That's great. You may be getting more sales than usual, but still in the grand scheme of things, you're losing money or you're break even. This is the case in 2025 for like 80% of advertisers. This is just how it is. I run into this as well. Like you're going to experience this when testing your product. The last time I've tested a product and was profitable immediately has like genuinely been years ago. And when I test my product, I rip my ads when I test. Hence, that's why I'm unprofitable. And a lot of people don't understand this. It's like, they're like, oh my gosh, my product is unprofitable. I have to kill it. And then like, I kind of ask them, I'm like, hey, show me your ads. They're just ripped. And it's like, did you really expect to be profitable off of ripped ads? Like why, please tell me like, where is the headspace? Because that makes no sense. Like when I've tested a product and I'm unprofitable, that's a good sign for me. Because now I know if I create better ads, I can hit profitability. I rip my ads when I test. So when I'm unprofitable, I know that's what I deserve because I just ripped them. And they have no actual real, a UGC creator who's trying to get 10% commission on a TikTok shop video only knows so much about marketing and so much about marketing angles. It can only take you so far, right? I do it just to get proof of product first. Then I do what actually needs to get done, like deep research on my niche, product, and customer to find out why they are buying / marketing angles and how to portray that in my ads in different ways / content styles. This is my step 2 when I find a product that actually has validation, aka it's break even or unprofitable. I'll then hit the drawing board. I'll say, okay, let me open up Amazon, let me open up Reddit, let me open up any of these forums online as to why people are buying. Let me read the reviews, let me read the threads, let me figure out why people are buying this product, let me figure out my demographic of people buying this product, and let me figure out all the clips that I have existing on TikTok, YouTube, any of these video platforms online. Let me assess the clips that I have, and let me, figure out, okay, what clip could go with what people are saying over here. Maybe people are buying it because their joints hurt, because they're blue collar workers and they work very, very hard. So let me try to find clips of older people, older men, older women, typically, that look like blue collar workers, so I can use for this ad. That's kind of the headspace that I'm staying in when it comes to content styles and marketing angles. What do I mean by the difference of these, though, by the way, is marketing angles is simply assessing different whys as to why someone is buying the product, right? You can have a reason over here as to why someone's buying the product, blue collar worker because their joints hurt, and you can have a why over here because this person wants to spend more time with their family and be stronger and be able to, go back to their teen years because they're just old. These are two different marketing angles, but it can be for the same product. And so this is also the research you have to do is like, you can't just like, yes, you could just be like, oh, market angle and just think of it, but it's way better to like actually figure out why people are buying it and just cross-referencing with information that's already existing online. And that's the best way to come up with marketing angles. Next is different ways to portray these marketing angles in your ads. That's different content styles. So a lot of people don't know this. This is kind of like high-level advertising stuff, which is good. That's what this video is for. But different content styles mean different ways to portray that marketing angle. So let's take our example again, blue collar workers that their joints hurt, so they want to buy our product that helps with their knee pain, right? Or some sort of pain. Now, our content style could be a variety of different things, right? We have clips on TikTok, but now we have to ask ourselves from our research, why are people buying, right? Do they see other health professionals using this product online? Right? We've all seen different health professionals like Brian Johnson, Gary Brecka, Andrew Huberman. Are they buying this product maybe because they saw them using it, right? Are they buying this product maybe because They saw well-known actresses using this. Are they buying this product because maybe they saw their friends using it? This is all stuff that matters because let's say, for example, we saw very well-known health professionals using it. We then take the podcast clips of that health professional talking about the product or the problem and add it into our ad as the hook because now that resonates with the user, or not the user, the customer. And let's say maybe it's a well-known actress or someone in the space, we'll then use that in the hook. And so that's a different content styles. Like how are we going to, like, this is all stuff that happens when you do deep research, is like assessing the why people are buying and then putting that into the actual ad and having that flow with the rest of it. And that's typically how you will formulate a good hook. And then the body / CTA will simply just be plugging your product. Because the hook should be where you introduce your social proof / problem. And then your body and CTA should be where you introduce and transition from the problem to the product and just CTA. So it doesn't really matter what market angle you're doing. You can typically just plug the product in, the body, by just using the UGC clips that are existing online. I tested in batches of 5 creatives and all $50 a day CBOs in the ad account. And then I'll just assess those over like a 4-day period, untouched. I don't touch them. People touch their ads way too much. Like I just will leave it for 4 days, let it do its thing. And then I'll assess which ads are the best. And then I'll create a campaign called my winning CBO, which typically you can scale up the highest because it has all your winning ads in there. And as it sounds, you'll just take all the ads that are best performing and profitable, it needs to be profitable, from all these mini CBOs that you have and put into one mega CBO where it's like all centralized and you can just like raise the budget on that super high if your ads are good, obviously. But that's kind of how I'm approaching ads. And that's, if you couldn't tell, one of the most important parts. So it's crucial. Next is the store. Customers and even Shopify are starting to care a lot about the looks of your store. So this is very important, right? Are your product images ripped right off of Callo, or are you using ChatGPT to create better looking branded photos? You can use any AI tool for this, doesn't have to use ChatGPT. SpyCrew has a lot. But one thing I see is like people are still ripping the images off of Callo data, which you can do, but like the first image should be very good. Like your first image you have on your store should be a lot better looking than what Callo data typically has, because this is like white background, crappy, it doesn't look good. So just use AI to just add a cool background, right? Solid color that matches your store's color, and just the product, right? So you want to make your store look pretty. This is one thing that like didn't matter 2-3 years ago. It's starting to matter a lot more. Are you looking into why people are actually buying your product, so you can reiterate that in the above the fold? Anything above the add to cart matters. Anything below, it's actually a lot less significant than you think. But you need to be actually, once again, just like you do research with your ads, just reiterate that exact same marketing or reiterate those exact same whys in your above the fold and tell people why they should, or tell them, hey, look, we're going to solve that problem that you're running into above the fold. Another niche thing is make sure your policies are set up. And the shipping times you state in your policies and website are what it actually is. Shopify, especially in Q4, is cracking down on this. If you set up your policies and let's say you have like 1 to 3 shipping day time, Shopify does just like standard reviews, and they'll see that your shipping time is not that. And then if they see that you have chargebacks on top of that, because you're stating that and it's not actually the case, they're gonna be like, oh no. And they'll probably give you some trouble. They'll tell you to change it. So just avoid that. Be truthful with your shipping times and your policies, your website. And then have apps like Disputify set up already on your store, so you don't have to run into any problems. I actually wasn't planning to talk about Disputify on this video. They're not even sponsoring this video. I have an affiliate link for them, which I will leave down below, because you get $300 in free credits. It's just a link that I've had for a long time, so I will leave a link for that down below. But this is like such a side tangent, but a really big app that you should have is Disputify, just because it's Q4. Like, quite honestly, Shopify is going to be closing down a lot of merchants just due to chargebacks. But I rarely have chargebacks ever show up on my store, because Disputify, I just have them auto refund all of the chargebacks that come in. So it basically refunds the order before it hits my processor, aka Shopify payments, and so it never shows up in the first place. That's the method in ecom to basically make sure you don't get shut down as a merchant. That's the best way. Use Disputify. I'll leave a link for it down below. $300 in free credits. That's like a lot. That's a lot of free money. Anyway, is marketing platform. This is the last thing, is Meta over TikTok. Any day of the week. Meta is more sustainable, and it isn't a game of price wars and pump and dumps like TikTok is. TikTok is known for its who can sell the product for the cheapest, $19 for this entire TV or dress, and then it dies after 2.5 weeks. But Meta is actually based off of market angles, high intent moves, and longevity, right? Meta is a platform where if you do this deep research with ads, if you have this good store, if you have this offer and stuff, you're going to be paid. On TikTok, that doesn't matter as much, and it rewards people who just are willing to get stuff up in 5 minutes. Your offer, sell the thing for $10. Ads doesn't matter. You can rip it one-to-one. Store can look like shit, but then your product dies. So it's like pick and choose your poison. I'd way rather have something that, you know, it pays you based off of how intent and how smart you are, and be paid a lot more with longevity and also just profit margin wise than just a pump and dump on TikTok. When I do advertise as well on Meta, I do top 5. So US, UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, top 5 countries I'll advertise in when I'm testing and even scaling. It's my typical SOPs, standard operating procedures. But that is pretty much most of the stuff that I'm thinking about when a lot of people come to me and they're like, hey, I can't get dropshipping to work. This is a lot of the rhetorical questions that I will then, I practice myself, but you can ask yourself if you're doing yourself as well. I can almost guarantee if you're watching this video, you probably aren't doing everything in here because I'm not even perfect at doing everything I just reiterated in this video myself. But that's super important, is just getting all this stuff done. As always, if you want help with me helping you scale your business, then obviously that makes this, okay, I'm not going to scale your business for you. But if you want help and want to join one of my communities where I basically give you a lot more in-depth knowledge and sauce on a lot of this stuff, where we have a lot more modules, videos, we have monthly calls or weekly calls, depending on which one you decide to join. There's a lot more sauce that's just like this, that's like actually applicable and helps. If you find this valuable, you'll find my community is a lot more valuable as well, because this is obviously the free value. I'll leave a link for that down below as well. I'll leave a video. It'll be a learn how I drop ship something down there. It'll be a video for you can watch for free, and then book a call if you want to join one of my communities as well. That's something I take a lot of pride in, because this information only scratches the surface, and then the communities go a lot more in depth with it as well. So I hope that helps. I'll catch y'all in the next one.